Hello everybody, welcome back to the Cabinet of Curiosities. It's good to see you all here again. Today we'll be talking about the Kentucky meat shower. So let's go back to the start. The Kentucky meat shower took place on March 3rd, 1876 near the town of Olympia Springs in Bath County, Kentucky. At around 11 a.m. it began to rain meat from the sky. This meat shower lasted for several minutes and eventually it subsided after several minutes passed. Now, these pieces of meat were typically 2 by 2 inches in length and size, though we do know that one piece of meat was 4 by 4 inches in size, instead of the majority, which were 2 by 2 inches in size. Now, it's generally believed that these were beef, though there is also a possibility that it may have been lamb or deer, as one contemporary report for the time claims that 2 men tried the meat and they said that it tasted like either lamb or deer, though generally it's believed that it was most likely beef that fell out of the sky on that day. Now, after this event occurred, contemporary newspapers reported on it, such as Scientific America and the New York Times, alongside various other publications at the time. Now, what exactly caused it, we don't know, but we do have several theories on to what exactly it was the Kentucky meat shower. The main theory is that vultures caused it. Now, the idea is that vultures vomited while flying through the sky, and this vomit landed on the yard where the Kentucky meat shower took place. Now, the thing is, vultures tend to vomit when they're trying to make a very quick escape, or they do it sometimes as a defensive method when they feel threatened. So something may have happened to them which caused them to vomit onto the ground. Now, some theories believe that it was a blood shower or blood rain. Now, blood showers and blood rain is what you think it to. Blood raining down. Now, it raining blood isn't really now those things aren't really a real thing. It's more in the area of mythology and not real stuff. Blood rain doesn't really happen. But that's one of the hypotheses. We're gonna have more of a hypothesis, but the general consensus is that vultures, for one reason or another, vomited after having eaten something, as vultures eat dead things, or scavengers, so they don't exactly hunt. They wait for things to die, and then they eat them. And vultures live in that area. Vultures live in most places in the continental United States of America, including Kentucky. Henceforth, vultures. But exactly what it is, we don't know. Now, there's a museum in Kentucky, and it actually has some of that meat. Some of the meat that fell out of the sky was actually preserved in bottles, and you can see this meat to this day. So we could actually still have it, as they're preserved at that museum to this day. So if you wanted to, you could go drive down to that museum or take a flight down to that museum and see what all the fuss is about, as they're there, those pieces of 2 by 2 inches of meat in those vials of glasses. It's kind of just sitting there, as some people picked it up and were able to preserve it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I gotta say for today. I hope you had a good time listening to this weirdness. He'll come back to visit the Cabinet of Curiosities once again. Well, bye. Have a nice time.